Here's the first is approval of minutes.
Now, was there a correction that you had on that before you said?
No, Pat and Sharon both,
Okay,
those correct.
so this is amended.
Yes, it is.
That is bang, second draft.
Now, was there a correction that you had on that before you said?
No, Pat and Sharon both,
Okay,
those correct.
so this is amended.
Yes, it is.
Was there a correction that you had on?
No, Pat and Sharon both.
Okay, so this is amended.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I move to approve the minutes.
I second it.
Okay. Call.
Roll call. Okay,
Okay, I move to approve the minutes.
second it.
Chairman Watson,
Here? Okay. No. Hi.
Let's hear abstaining.
What happened to our roll call?
I thought you said we didn't need that. Or is it, was it the sign-in sheet we didn't need?
We don't need to sign.
Oh, we do need the roll call, okay.
Yes,
So I guess we could do that first.
okay,
What happened to our roll-
okay,
I thought
so
you said we
Chairman
didn't need
Watson,
Here?
Or is it, was it the sign-in sheet we didn't?
Deputy Chairwoman,
Oh, we do need the roll call. Here?
okay,
So I guess we could do that first.
okay,
You call them and.
okay, so, okay.
Or is it, was it the sign-in?
Member Klaus, Deputy Chairwoman,
Oh, we do need the roll call.
Member Williger, okay. And Member Hope,
Here.
okay. Member Klaus, Deputy Chairwoman.
Okay, so now I will state that I move that we approve the minutes. And
And
who seconded?
I second it.
So now I will state that I move that we approve the minutes. Who seconded?
I second it.
So now we need the roll call on that.
You call them. So they're gonna call.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so
I second it.
Chairman Watson
Aye.
So now we need the roll
and
call.
Chairwoman Liederman
Deputy.
Deputy.
Aye.
and Member Crouch, Chairman Watson. And Member and
Aye.
Chairwoman. Liederman.
Deputy.
Okay, and our next
Aye.
notation is, our next meeting is gonna be March 14th.
Now, because of the extra day in February,
Aye.
that, you see, that that moves, February 1st was a Thursday,
Is
so
that
this
St.
is.
Patty's Day? So our next meeting is.
No, that's the 17th.
So, okay.
Yeah, because of the extra day. So yeah, I was surprised when I saw it move back a whole week, but that's because February 1st was a Thursday, but March 1st is a Friday. So,
No, that's the 17th.
We have no correspondence.
yeah, I
no
was surprised when I
letters,
saw it move back.
Get
a
any-
whole week,
how many
because
more?
February
Oh,
1st
it's
was a
electronic.
Thursday, but March 1st is Friday.
I used to get the thing
No,
from the
they-
Letchworth, right?
Yeah.
Little green correspondence.
We used to get stuff from the county planning department.
I think that all comes electronically now, too.
Yeah.
What would you get from the county planning department?
Their reviews of the same proposals. A lot of times they did reviews.
So how they acted on it, what their comments were. It was always, pretty informative.
What would you
Yeah.
get from the county
It
planning?
wasn't a lot, but it was.
Their reviews of the same proposals. A lot of times they did reviews.
So how they acted on it, what their whole business, or are we going with town lease with a horse's friend, anything new with that back? Wasn't a lot.
Their reviews.
I was going to ask
A lot of times they did
you for,
How they acted, what their
if there was any news.
business, or are we going with town lease with a horse's friend, anything new with that back? Wasn't a lot.
I was going to ask.
It's not here.
I saw something about that in the newsletter that just came yesterday.
Yeah, but that's already out of date. They're talking about having, because I just know this not officially, but just
I
through some
saw
other
something about that in the
conversations that,
newsletter that just came
yeah, the
yesterday.
newsletter Yeah, said but that there would be a
that's already
referendum in
Right.
February or March. Now it's looking like it's not gonna be that soon. Because I guess they're waiting on some, some papers that have to be filed and so forth before they can schedule it. So now not be till April, it's not gonna be that soon, but just that it's not as imminent as the newsletter. Some papers that have to be filed before they.
Okay, our next order is our special permit application, so we don't have the special permit application. Nothing else on
You
it?
have a special permit application.
And just like,
For the thing.
for West Henrietta Road.
Right.
Comment sheets.
I don't know if we need the comment sheets, do we still? Oh, you got it? Okay.
I didn't see
For West
any.
Henrietta Road.
Right.
Are we supposed to do the EAF?
Well, but they're supposed to
I
submit.
don't know if we need the comment sheets, do we still?
And
Oh, you got it?
then we get to. Review that, see how
Are
accurate.
we
it
supposed to do the EAF?
But I didn't, there's the.
What does the A stand for? Environmental assessment. Yeah, you would think for with a gas station, you would have that.
Yeah.
What does the
And
A
it may
stand
come
for?
from
Environmental.
the DEC themselves. You know,
Yeah, you
they're-
would think for with a
they're
gas
kind of-
station, you would have that.
Well, I was saying, though, that they're supposed to do at least the short form, so I guess that could be comment number one, EAF form, not submitted by, you want me to write it? I'm fine either way. I was saying, though, that they're supposed to be at least the short, so I guess that could be comment number one, EAF form, not submitted by. Oh, we're hearing our own voices.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that took me a while to figure that out.
There was one section of this where they had ticked off, let me find
Oh,
it.
we're hearing our own voices.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that took me a while to.
It
figure
did
that
say
out.
this is going to be open 24
There was
hours.
Yeah,
One
that
section
was-
of
I
this
was
where
thinking
they
the same
had
thing.
ticked off, let me find it.
We're hearing our own voices.
Is that what that
Yeah,
is?
that took me a while to-
It did say this is going to be open 24 hours.
Yeah, that-
Commercial area where there's 390 and all that. Our resident there as well.
It did say this was
You're
going to be
going to be very affected by the lighting and the traffic.
Right, because when I saw which one was it? Those, now it makes sense. I couldn't figure out what corner it was on from the plans.
So it's on this,
Right,
yeah, southwest.
because when I saw which one was it? Those.
It's an
now
R20
it makes
district,
sense.
so there's
I
four
couldn't figure out.
residential
what corner
properties
it was on
that,
from the Plans.
Order it. So it's
It,
on-
it might help if you mute, if you
Because
haven't muted.
when I saw
It's an R20 district.
Or that sometimes happens if you have more than more than one version of it going on at the same time.
And I did close out of the YouTube,
Oh,
just to make sure.
I suppose
that-
if we mute, then the sound may not come through.
But
Do we have any visitors?
just one.
Do we know who it is?
Yeah,
To make
I
sure
suppose
that-
if we mute, then the sound may not come through. Okay, we'll just have to live with it. Oh,
Just one.
Visitors identifying citizens.
The sound may not come through.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just have to live with it. Oh, So this is for a gas station, and you said there's,
Tesla's charging stations also.
Mhm.
so this is
Are
for
they
the gas
specifically
station.
Tesla? Not
Yeah,
Tesla?
well, it says Tesla, so if you pull into a Tesla one, like,
And you said
like
there's,
eight Teslas, and I do, that, you're the only one that can charge them.
So why would they have eight? Teslas?
Yeah, well, it says.
Right, that doesn't.
Most of them are, yeah.
All the, I mean, I know a lot of people with EVs, but none of them has a Tesla.
Yeah, well, it says.
Right, that doesn't.
Most of them are, yeah.
Why is Tesla specific to
Yeah,
Tesla?
unless it should be just EV charging stations. Because Tesla was the first one that came out with all of that and sold the most
Why is
cars, and
Tesla
they're the ones that started all these
specific?
charging stations in lieu of you just plugging it in at home. And then there's superchargers, so they'll charge you fast, 20 minutes it takes us to charge. They're the ones.
But only a Tesla vehicle.
The ones, yeah, the ones that we go to, but supercharged, you know, it says Tesla, but.
How many are they planning?
Fast, 20 minutes takes us to charge. They're the ones.
But only a Tesla vehicle. This one says statement of intent, it just says 8 charging
It says
stations
Tesla, but
how many are they planning?
fast. 8.
and a Dunkin' Donuts. But only. This one says statement of intent, it just says 8 charging. So they have ticked off as well. In the one document, filled out environmental assessment form, part 1, and filled out environmental addendum. So they have ticked off as well.
And they don't say what kind
In
of a
one
barrier.
document,
they're gonna have
filled
between
out
residential
environmental
properties and
assessment form,
this
part
property.
1, and filled out
Another thing
environmental
is lighting.
addendum.
Yeah, we got lighting.
Ticked off as well.
Can you find? I saw it.
No. It's only, there's just this one little checkbox, environmentally sensitive features, and they've checked off no, but that's not the usual form. that
There's
we
more to
see.
it than
It's
that.
only,
Oh, yeah.
there's just this one little checkbox, environmentally sensitive features, and they've checked off no, but that's
Dave,
not.
what
the
kind of,
usual
what,
form.
you know, I know it's the truck place now. But are there any creeks, or woods and so on nearby that'll be affected?
No, that's
Dave,
not.
what kind of?
No, it's farther down the road here, down.
Are there any, is
They're-
there any?
they're
creeks,
below, Holmes.
Woods and so
Way
on
down.
nearby that'll be affected?
It's probably gonna put you over that.
Farther down the road here, down.
Are there any?
They're below, He'll just change the, way down, doing something else, like it's always.
He's changed the business model quite a bit.
Yeah.
in the time he was
I know
there.
personally, and he does good.
So is there gonna be a convenience store too? It would be unusual to have a gas station and a Dunkin'
Probably.
Donuts and not a convenience store.
Also, I'm looking for septic, he does what,
So is there
What's
gonna be a
gonna happen
convenience
there?
store too? It would be
you know,
unusual.
they got all gas tanks, but
They
I
have a
don't see
gas
anything
station
as
and
far
a
as.
Dunkin' Donuts
septic.
and not a convenience.
Maybe they don't know that there's no, they got septic.
Well, you never know what they know and what they don't know.
You know, is the existing building going to be torn down? Maybe they know that there's no, one of the things about the special permit was they have,
What they know, what they don't know.
is the condition that going to be torn down? No gas station be within 500 feet of another gas station. There are things about the special permit, which the only other gas station nearby here is the natural gas filling station on the other side of 251 in the parking lot. I don't know if that's still operational.
I don't know if that would count.
Yeah.
It's not a
that's what-
gas station.
That's what Scott Strock's question was too. We talked about it in the code committee before, and our next meeting for code
don't know if
committee
that-
is. Yeah, next week.
That's gas
Scott Strock's.
Scott was
Question was too.
differentiating. We haven't thought about this at all.
And diesel, yeah. Right,
So that has something to do with the required distance. And the gasoline is a lot.
and diesel, yeah, right, more volatile.
In that, I have an issue, I have a lot of issues.
Oh, can I see the phone? Here, thanks.
It's one information says also show proposed Dunkin' Donuts and a charging station installed by others. It's one.
They're planning a
information
curb
says
cut.
Also show proposed Dunkin' Donuts and a charging station installed by others.
It's at the corner of two state roads. So the state has a lot to say.
Planning a curb.
Also show.
They want to widen the curb cut up to the key. And install a
It's
new.
at the corner of two state roads. So the state has a lot to say.
DOT issue, which could make or break.
It seems to me there's a few things missing.
Yeah.
Unless we haven't, and they haven't been forward. Because
Seems
I'm
to
looking
me
at
there's
this
a
one,
few things
included in the site plan, they say
Unless we
stormwater
haven't
drainage
done-
provisions,
haven't
exterior lighting. Landscaping, and I don't see any of that in the three documents. One is included in the site plan, they say stormwater drainage provisions, exterior lighting. Landscaping.
I also
and
see
don't
here,
any of that.
because this is agricultural data statement, and, oh, I see, the landowner's name, see attached.
Lighting.
But I'm not,
What's it say about agriculture?
that's the thing, it doesn't.
Agricultural data.
It's-
It just says see attached. And then it's got a list here, nearby
Just
addresses.
tax maps or names say about that.
Let's see, that's the thing, it does, some of the names for some of them, not for all of them. Rush Associates, Bradley Blaine, Sarah Ellison, Scott Barrington,
Just tax maps or
Brandon
names.
Lindsay, Robert Baker, Rothschild, Seven Schultz LLC, and Jeffrey Marks. Sarah Ellison, Scott Barrington,
See if that looks
Brandon
like-
Lindsay, Robert Baker, Rothschild. Those are supposedly all within 500 feet. And Jeffrey Marks. Sarah Ellison, Scott Barrington.
So Dick Outdoors is more than 500 feet away.
Those are supposedly all within 500 feet.
Dick Outdoors is more than 500 feet away. I don't see anything. Perceptive. This is outdoors.
Okay, I'll add that to the list.
And it,
Are
I
they
don't-
gonna tear down the existing building?
I'm looking to see for any clues for that. I'll add that to the list.
and it,
Are they gonna tear down? the
Julia,
existing
did you make note that the environmental conservation assessment form is missing?
Yes.
Okay. Julia, did you make note that the environmental conservation assessment?
Because as far as whether they're gonna remove the other one, they're just saying install a canopy. So it sounds like they're gonna keep the existing building. They're not saying they're gonna build a new building. Because as far as whether they're gonna remove the other one, they're just saying.
Right.
install a canopy. So it sounds like you're gonna keep. And then, the charging stations and a Dunkin' Donuts installed by others, what does that mean?
Right.
The contractor won't be doing it.
Who's.
Probably sub it out to
Charging
a
stations
electrical contractor.
and a Dunkin' Donuts. But regardless, they still need to show the footprint,
Yeah.
don't they, and septic and so forth.
Probably
My
sub it out.
understanding that they're applying for the gas.
And a Dunkin' Donuts. But regardless, they still need to show the footprint.
Would want to see.
And the state and
What are the
septic
other-
and so forth. Yes.
Not that it's gonna happen for sure.
Yeah.
It may or may not happen, but if it's not, this is what the overall picture. Concept.
Yes.
A concept. But that's not what, they would have to come back with that for site plan review. He's just looking at the gas station part. And I think he's looking to see what the town thinks of it because it's for sale. And they have not purchased it, and depending upon comments, would depend upon something. Those are my.
Okay, I didn't even realize that was for sale.
This may not be
Okay, I didn't even realize that was for
correct.
sale.
Since we're involved with the environmental management council. I just don't, this may not be. I can't see endorsing. The planning board, denies based on whether it complies with the code, with the zoning, all that stuff. We're a conservation board, we don't do that, but you need a whole diesel, you don't. Diesel is a thing that's and you have the short of cancer. And it also causes or exacerbates a lot of other things, asthma and everything else. I just, from an environmental point of view, conservation also, I just don't understand it. Yes, maybe it's going to be allowed by the current town zoning code. But I feel like there's this whole page, it says, the proposed use is necessary or desirable to provide a service or facility which will contribute to the general well-being of the neighborhood or the community. And they're supposed to explain how the service of the facility would contribute. That's number one. Then number two, they're supposed to address whether the proposal would endanger or tend to endanger public health and safety, or two, morals or the general welfare of the community. And it goes on, but right, and to me, that's really relevant, and they just left it blank. And it goes on, but now it's up to the planning board, yes. Right, we don't have, we don't approve. And they just, but I would say we should go on record about that, and also, why didn't they even address it? It's all blank, we don't. This is the special permit. Dated January 10th, right on that. So, just mine, dated January 10th, right on that. This pleasure with him.
Yes, well, I'll make a note, that the EAF was not submitted and other required sections are missing.
At this time.
Well, the deadline was January 10th.
Well, I'll make a note, that the EAF was not submitted. Here we are again, reviewing proposals that don't have all the required material.
Now, I have heard the planning board go ahead.
Well, I'll make a note, the EAF was
But I don't.
Here we are again, reviewing rule on this page, don't have all the
No,
required material.
on others.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Okay, well, I guess if they're ready to rule on it, we have to review them then. Rule on this page.
But I just don't understand. They simply neglected
Okay.
to.
Okay, well, I guess if they're ready to rule on it, we have to.
Especially number two, because if it's an open 24 hours and there's
Does it say it's
noise,
going to be open 24?
It does.
yeah, noise, lights, offensive odors, the character of the neighborhood. 4 hours. And
In a residential area.
it's naive of me to think that there's not going to be new gas stations built, right? But when you do go to the environmental council meetings and you hear that by 2050, New York State is on track to seriously curtail carbon emissions. It just doesn't make sense to me either. New York State is on track to
I haven't seen that.
seriously curtail carbon emissions.
In those 43 years. Is there need now when?
To me, a facility where there's charging stations would be a better option in moving us forward where we're supposed to be going.
I don't get
To me, a facility where there's charging stations would be a better.
You know what I think is happening with this echo? I think the person who is online with us has not muted. And you can mute them from your computer. It says there. Who's online with us has not muted. And you can.
Oh, no, they're muted.
You're muted? Okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
looks like it. but-
If they weren't, that would explain the echo, but apparently it doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Companies in that area.
You're muted? Okay.
It-
Okay. If they weren't, that would explain the echo. but apparently it's just okay.
Oh, I'm muted. Yeah, they're muted.
Oh, they're muted, okay.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm muted. Yeah, they're muted.
Can you hear an echo? Citizen? Oh,
I'm not hearing it now.
You have to talk.
No, I was hearing it.
There was a
on-
delay.
But not here.
Right, not
Is
hearing it
it
now.
from another device in the room?
I stopped hearing it and then I heard it again and now it stopped. again. Okay, there are those things. Okay, so are we ready to summarize our comments on this or do we have more?
Well, we're missing a lot of information. So,
Okay, so I'll go over what I have. 24-hour, the issue of the 24-hour operation, noise, lighting, odors. Why it shows that the charging stations are 8 for Tesla, but not for other EVs. Not showing barriers to protect neighboring properties, not showing septic systems. Unclear as to the building structure and footprint. We would want to see the other, the concept plans, including the additional structures and toxicity of diesel. Does that cover it all?
that sounds pretty good.
Okay, just give me a moment to try to put it in some semblance of order on the form. Structures and toxicity of diesel. Does that cover it all?
That sounds pretty good.
Okay, just give me a moment to try to put it in some semblance of order on the form. Structures and toxicity of diesel. Does that cover it all?
It'd be good if there were a way to summarize what you said, it shows that nothing seen as fitting in the comments, but I just see it as totally inappropriate.
Well, I'll fit it all in.
Obviously, directed them to share.
Oh, you're talking about this. Okay, okay. Well, I'll fit it all in.
Well, I have right here them from
Oh, you're
the
talking about this. Okay.
EMC by 2050. Metric tons of carbon dioxide will be reduced 80%.
Now, do we know that that's going to be through not having gasoline powered automobiles as opposed to perhaps more efficient gasoline powered automobiles?
It's not just automobiles, I believe. That would be infrastructure. It would be, it would
As opposed to
be everything.
more efficient?
County.
Right, so see, that's, so I'm not sure
It's
that the
not
plan
just
for carbon
automobiles,
emissions of
I believe.
2050,
That would be
as of
infrastructure. It would
2050
be-
necessarily negates,
It would-
I'm not saying we need another gas station, but I'm not saying, I don't think I don't see that it necessarily negates the concept of a gas station now. Necessarily negates- I'm not saying we need another gas station, but I'm not saying, I don't see that it necessarily negates the concept of a gas. Well, trucks are still using diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there hasn't been one here. Why is it needed? Why are we gonna add?
It's right off the expressway, that's why.
Well, trucks are still using diesel.
Expressway's been there 40 some.
Convenient stop. Where else you gonna get it? Better go all the way down 15-8 Whitley's here,
They've been doing whatever they've been.
or you go to Lehigh Station.
We don't get to decide.
Where else you gonna?
Right,
Right. All the way down 15-8.
What were the conservation?
right.
Go to Lehigh Station.
And we should be more aligned with promoting the reduction of carbon emissions. Right. And we should be more aligned with promoting the reduction.
The Environmental Management Council is countywide. Under the health.
And we should be more.
Seems to me that their positions, their concerns, whatever. We're small potatoes compared to what they're looking at. And we either are aligned with them or we're not. Again, we don't get to decide, but they see it as a major issue.
Right, and they can't, I mean, they can't legislate anything now. It's just a matter of trying to lead by example. Is what I think is going on when I go to these meetings. That's what I'm hearing. They want to help all the townships and municipalities, but it really is. Lead by example. Who knows though what's gonna happen in 2050 if those goals aren't met? They wanna help all the.
Well, it's not like it's gonna happen all of a sudden in 2050. I mean, they'll be tracking goals all
Right.
along and, I mean, we used to have, I guess we still do, but I remember back the goals, that, when they reduced, the highway speed limits and then raised it back up again, these goals change over time,
Right.
sometimes depending on who's in power.
That's absolutely correct.
Limits.
Depending on who's in power.
Again, these goals change over time, depending on who's,
That's absolutely correct.
limits.
Depending on who's in power.
Yeah, these goals change.
That's absolutely correct. What are you seeing there, Dave?
This is the one on 600 West Rush Road. And
Uh-huh.
so there used to be a house there. They had a fire, tore the house down, filled in the
What are you
basement,
seeing there, Dave?
but there was a metal building. This is the one on, then the lot was sold. And so I put an electric service. They had a fire. No, there actually was, part of an electric service already there. I finished it up.
Oh, I know where this is. This is where 5 Points comes out onto Rush West Rush. Yeah, and there's just,
So we had this before, right? And we had some concerns on the house.
oh, I know where
One on
this is. This is
Fisher.
where 5
Oh, Fisher, okay, I'm sorry, I'm mixing them up.
This is what-
I apologize.
Right, and all that's existing there now is a little
Construction
barn.
on Fisher Road hasn't started yet either.
Well, they haven't gotten approval, have they? Haven't gotten approval. Fisher, okay, I'm sorry, I'm mixing them up. I apologize.
Right, and all that's existing there now is a little barn.
Construction on Fisher Road hasn't started yet either.
Well, they haven't gotten approval. Haven't gotten approval. Fisher, okay, I'm sorry. I'm mixing them up.
So they're looking,
Right, and all
the
that's
zoning
existing there now-
board, they want to be, the existing house that was there was even closer to the road, I'm pretty sure. So they're looking,
So this is a zoning.
board, yeah. They want to be closer to the road, 86 feet instead of the house that was there.
Well, that's
Was even
20 feet closer.
I'm pretty sure. So they're looking.
So this is a zoning.
Yeah, and not saying anything, they want the house next door is about the same feet. No, the house next door is 100 feet, it says. This one is 86, almost looked like it was identical, but it's not too, not to say, they want a house next door is about the same. No, the house next door is 100 feet, and then it backs up to the, peanut plant. That's not too,
It backs up to what?
the peanut railroad. That-
Peanut Railroad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the
Did you go
program.
to the thing the other day?
I did, you weren't there.
No.
was.
What? I just got back
Pretty
from
much.
Colorado last night.
Oh, there was a program with the Rush Historical
Peanut
Society
railroad?
about the peanut line there.
Oh.
I was there.
To the thing the other day?
I
And they
did.
tore it out. when?
What?
A little
I
later
just
than
got
that.
back from
but-
Colorado last night.
Oh, there was a program with the Rush Historical Society.
It actually went through the property
Oh.
that my parents used to own.
Really?
They tore it out.
What?
A little
I
later
just
than
got back
that.
from Colorado last night.
Oh, there was a program.
It actually went through the property that my parents used to own. They've got RG&E to relocate electric. They can do that, and it's not RG&E.
Right, yeah. That's what does get to me. I mean, not, you're gonna put together a proposal and you don't know which utility company you're working with? Right.
Yeah, they must be getting a bill, right? They've got electric panel
See,
there.
that's what does get to me. I mean, not, you're
Got
gonna put
electric in the
together. a
metal building.
proposal, you don't know
They've
which-
already done, her cold test.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it new owners?
They got electric. No, well. The owner's daughter got married, so then.
Is it new owners?
The married daughter as well living there. The owner's daughter got married, so then.
Hey, why don't you open it up? I'll stand up and.
Do you have anything on?
No. Well, is
Okay.
it that on?
Yeah, this came in the 16th.
Okay, I'll look for it.
Okay, it came in the 16th, but the
Yeah.
zoning board is considering it next week.
Yeah, no.
No.
I thought you
Well,
said
is it
yes.
that on?
Yeah, this came in the 16th.
Okay, I'll look for it.
Well, that's a problem. It's all supposed to be in by the 10th in order for any of us to review it. And we're supposed to review it before the zoning board does.
Is this,
I thought I'd read.
is this 600 Rush Rush Rush?
By the 10th. In order for any of us to do
Yeah.
it. No, it might be the 10th. I think it is the, see,
the other.
before the zoning- oh, you're right. That is the other one. Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, this is date
Yeah.
stamp the 16th. I think it is the,
And you say that this wasn't coming
oh,
up,
you're right. That is the.
we were just gonna look at it.
No, she said it is on the agenda. So we've got questions. Yeah, because I asked about that and then she checked and said, no, it's on the agenda for the next week for the zoning board. And it shouldn't be, if it only came in on the 16th. Yeah, because I asked about that and then she.
For the zoning.
Right, but it,
The plan.
right. Yeah, because the
So
the
they,
idea.
they
of
gotta
the-
approve it first before.
Well, the setback is a
setback,
zoning issue, yeah, but it's all supposed to be, my understanding is it's all supposed to be in by the 10th to go to any of the boards the next month. Because so if this came in the 16th, it's too late for February. The setback is a zoning, yeah. But it's all supposed to be, my understanding is it's all supposed to be in by the 10th. Sure, I mean, might as well, but I'm just concerned because, this came in, I just,
Gotta go through the zoning board first, and when is their meeting?
next week.
Oh, okay,
That's the thing, and it,
so our comments are just for them then,
yes. But,
and then we should see it again next month, right?
I know it's difficult because we've had a change in staffing and so forth and some difficulty and things, haven't always been posted, but I think, if this keeps up, I think we're gonna have to make a formal statement to the other boards. That, we need to see these things before it goes to them. That's how my understanding is that's how it's in the rules for it to work. So if they take things that have not been submitted by the deadline and or that we have not had an opportunity to review and consider them, I mean, they're the ones that make the decisions. We just make the recommendations. So they go ahead and making the decisions without our input that is required. Then that actually undercuts the integrity of any decision that they're going to make, as well as frankly depriving the citizens of the input from the conservation board that they're supposed to have.
Right.
This is not discretionary for someone to say, well, the conservation board hasn't seen it, but we're going to review it anyway.
You make a very valid point.
Too loud, probably. My apologies.
Well, we got the echo. So that's-
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think it was?
it was YouTube was
Oh,
recording.
so there was a house here that burned, correct? So when that happens, a whole new septic is put in?
Well, the house before was close to the road, and then they also did away with the septic system when they filled in the house. And it was an old house, so you had an old septic system. So they did away with everything.
It just gets.
So now
filled in.
they're looking to bring it closer to the road, so then they can get the septic system in there without it. If it was 110 feet back, then they wouldn't be able to get the septic system in.
Yes.
County road, town road.
Yeah, County Road 65. They even got all the shrubs and trees in here too.
Mm-hmm. You just need to know who their energy supplier is.
And there was another lot that was sold with just a metal barn on it and no residents.
So they're gonna probably be applying for something, but getting back to this, now, do we have a conservation concern about the setback? I'm not saying we don't, I'm just posing the question. I don't know if we do.
Well, it actually, according to this one PDF, it looks like it's at the same setback as the residents just to the west of it.
That's
If
what-
this drawing is accurate.
That's what Dave was saying, but he says they're putting the measurement at 100 feet for that house.
For the house next door.
So even though it looks the same, the figures apparently show
It's not,
different. And besides, frankly, even if it did, even if it was the same, that doesn't necessarily mean it's okay to do it again.
Why?
If they did
They
it
ran
wrong,
on- They ran into that on West Henrietta Road where the guy built the house too close to the roads.
yeah.
And then he had to tear. So he just got a slab sticking out there in order to meet a heated slab.
Well, there's a whole other point of
Yeah.
view on the one, we won't get into that.
Yeah.
3 bedroom, average disposal, 4 bedrooms for septic tank size.
Does moving the house closer to the road have any implications for wildlife crossing the road? Based on where it is, more or less, impact on the removal of trees or other growth?
It's a small house too, 1400 square feet.
Yeah, that is small, especially by today's standards. Is this all the paperwork we have with it? That plus the plan? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I guess I should either way, and even if we have no comments, so there's a place to check.
Right.
They may have a reserve for future expansion on the septic also. Deep hole test, one of them was 42 minutes. It's a long time.
This is really a lot of specificity with all of this.
Topsoil and silty loam, silty clay with gravel, modeling depth, seepage depth. Monroe County witnessed the deep hole test. Gravelless leaching chambers, that's a new way of doing septic systems.
What is it?
Gravelless leaching chambers, so they're just kind of black. Somebody circle pipes and I think they run a pipe down through it, or there is one. If Luke is there, he could tell it.
Of course, we're not really reviewing for septic and so on,
No.
except as it impacts the setback. It has the planning, so the planning board, I guess, right, that guy, and then we'll probably have us back again after, we just. After,
I imagine we'll see this again.
So just help me understand you think it's a concern that it's with the septic, that the house is not set back enough?
I don't know, I'm just raising the question for discussion. Maybe not.
Like I said, the reason they've done that is so they can fit the septic system in there. It's the only place they can put it. Because they've got a driveway on the other side that goes to the metal building.
Well,
And I
since
think
I,
it sets back farther than what the other existing house was. Well,
since I've come on board, I don't think I've seen septic plans this detailed before.
yeah,
So does the Monroe County do this or the engineering firm or?
well, they come out and witness a deep hole test and then the engineer designs the whole septic system according to,
Mm,
what their deep hole tests were. And they, like I said, they provided for expansion in there also. Which they've got 5 56-foot runs, so that's a lot. For a small house like that.
Well, did you see they count, they're saying 4-bedroom because it has a garbage disposal. A
Well,
garbage
that's-
disposal counts as another bedroom?
Yeah, for the amount of bedrooms.
Oh, I see, because what would be going into the septic system from the garbage
Yeah.
disposal is as if it were coming from the
Yeah.
bedroom. That's the way to do it.
Mhm. It like adds another bedroom to the capacity.
Right.
Does it say how many bedroom this is?
3.
3.
So
Oh,
that
nice
septic
design.
system design is, farther down it says. 4-bed, oh, so if it was a 4-bedroom,
It says proposed 3-bedroom home plus garbage disposal.
It's, oh,
Yeah,
it says
you-
it somewhere.
wanna see?
Um,
Got it all there.
Yeah, 600 was
Yeah,
a rush
that's-
stretch. When I first heard that name, I was puzzled
Those
until I finally.
exist.
Very hard to say.
It's very hard to say.
Is this on water? Do they have water?
Yeah,
Okay, I think it's 8 o'clock. I think we need to move on this one way or the other, because, you know, do we have a conservation concern on this second issue?
no,
Okay,
I
so
don't.
I'll say, okay, so I'll check that we do not feel
I
any
looked at
aspect
Dave's expertise.
significantly impact the environment. I'll say.
they got a good set of drawings.
They do. It's very detailed.
It is and it isn't. They have a drawing of the house and they've got, you know, stuff penned into the blueprints. On the back section of it. But again, that's not for us.
Yeah, is there one more?
Yes,
And what is that? Is that zoning also?
no, this one is planning.
Yeah, they're gonna have a 1,500-gallon tank. It's big for a small house like that.
What's the next one, Julia?
Okay, the next one is. Yeah, this is. Also West Henrietta Road?
Well, there's,
Okay, yeah, okay, 7566 West Henrietta.
Oh, that's J. Crew.
Yes,
Is
J. Crew
that zoning or
Landscaping.
planning?
planning.
that was not on the derivation. When we looked at it, or we're seeing the ground last year.
Well, this is the one that Sharon said, you know, Sharon said ahead of time, you know, that it hadn't come through by the deadline, but that the planning board might consider it anyway. And that was why I said I wanted to wait till we were on the record. Now we're on the record. I'll say it that, you know, even if we haven't seen it, it should not be considered by the planning board. And if it doesn't meet the deadline, even if the planning board has seen it before, if they're seeing it again, we have to see it again before they see it again. That's the structure. So I get concerned when I hear they may consider it anyway because they've seen it before when we haven't. Now we have the opportunity to see it, but we almost didn't. So
What was it? Was it 7566 West Henrietta?
find it again. Let's see. Yeah, 7566.
Yeah. Commercial service business.
Establishment of commercial service business within an existing building located at 7566 West Henrietta Road in the town of Rush.
Yeah, it has a new number with a P for 2024.
I have to look for the number. I do see that this is dated January 25th, 2024. So it absolutely did not meet, it didn't come close to meeting the January 10th deadline.
And this is, I think this is limited industrial,
Zoning.
yeah. Where the one across the street is, no, the one across the street is limited industrial.
That where Henry Benson?
No, no, well, it was this, the one that we're looking at, yes. It was a farm that he bought a long time ago when the Lehigh Valley Trail borders it on the north side.
And this says it's within the New York State Heritage Area, West Erie Canal Corridor.
If I'm looking in the right place, there's already a conservation board from 4/13/23 on this.
Right, well, that's what Sharon was saying. They've seen it already and we've seen it already.
Yeah.
But we have to see what's different about what's.
So what do
being
they ask us
proposed
for?
now. It just says that they're asking to, maybe they're coming back, maybe we all said we needed more information and they're coming back with more information.
See, they also kind of under a agricultural statement in there too. because,
Well, it also says that they're in the New York State Heritage Area, West Erie Canal Corridor. And the agricultural. It says, okay, what parks survey? It's not, they're adjacent to. It says community commercial district. What does community commercial mean? Is that like overlay? Let me look that up. It says it's in a community commercial district.
Community.
Yeah.
It's a commercial district, not a limited industrial is across the street. Remember, that's why Comet Flasher wants to be across the street, which they haven't done anything yet.
It
But
says
this
CC,
before was
community-
where who wanted to come in here before and work on trucks. It was a big truck garage or something, and they were worried about the light pollution carrying over on the other side to the residential area across the creek, which is next to the town sheds, which has lights on them. So this is also kind of what the guy did up on High Tech Drive there, the landscape business, and putting in, you know, storage bins. There was an
I remember
existing
that.
place up there. Where he was, or where he is. They approved that up there too.
I don't think we had any problems with that one, as I recall.
So they've got a trailer there now, so now they're gonna build a building. And it looks to be about 62 by 80 maybe.
Yeah, it says it has outdoor lighting. It doesn't look like they're planning to expand on the current outdoor lighting. Want me to bring this over to you, Pat?
No.
Oh, this is
Thank you.
this is for 600 West Rush Road.
So why is that in there? Well, that's correspondence. That's the correspondence
Yeah,
you mentioned.
That just says it's gonna have wastewater treatment plant, will require approval by Monroe County. You have to check to see if there's a monument nearby. If there is, then they have to. What do they have to do? It's nothing much. It says really if the. Want to see that?
Yeah, okay, so I guess we have to add that for the minutes that we actually did receive correspondence and review it from Department of the Monroe County Department of Planning.
That's a thing that's.
Thank you. Do we have a comment
Okay, so
sheet?
this-
Do we have a comment sheet for this one?
Yeah, didn't she just give you one, or that was for the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got another one.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Is this one done?
Yes. And then there was the other one that we didn't have any comments on, but I think the sheet on it, where's the sheet for that? Must be someplace.
We'll find it.
Yeah. Well, actually, we didn't pass a resolution based on the comments, did we?
I don't think so.
We need to do that.
Went from one to,
Pardon?
I said you went from one to the.
Right, okay. I went over it, but we didn't take a vote.
Right.
So let me take that back because I'm not gonna remember everything. Sorry about that. Okay, Dave, is it okay if we go back to, is it okay if we go back to that so we can do a resolution on the comments here?
On which one?
On the
The
first
comment.
one?
Oh,
No,
first
yeah,
one.
yeah,
The gas station.
yes. Okay, so here's what I put here, if, EAF not, okay, so I will read this and then, incorporate it into a motion for a resolution. The EAF not submitted by applicant or not in packet, other required sections are also missing. Need to see full site plans, including the Dunkin' Donuts and charging station. 2, concerns regarding environmental effects of a 24-hour operation, light pollution, noise, odors. Also concerned about toxicity of diesel. Adding diesel in gas stations is counter to goals of carbon emission reduction. 3, no septic showing, also no barrier shown to protect neighboring properties. 4, question why all 8 charging stations are Tesla, not for other EV charging. I move that our comments be incorporated into a resolution from the planning board.
Second it.
Any discussion?
Oh.
Didn't it clearly say Tesla somewhere? Cause
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw something that.
that may be
Right.
somebody's just self-description of it.
yeah, one place it just says charging
EV,
stations,
yeah.
another
Yes.
place it says Tesla.
Did they tear down this big building? Was that one? I was just writing notes, which I.
Well, no, because it doesn't look like they're gonna tear down the existing building. I just said need to see full site plans, including the Dunkin'
Yeah.
Donuts and charging stations. Just to incorporate all of that, let's just see what's gonna be on the site.
Imagine there'll be more signage also.
We want to add that?
Well, they have a sign ordinance, so
Yeah.
should cover it.
Okay, was there a second to my motion?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did,
Second.
okay. So I guess that's right, we need the roll call.
Okay. So Chairman Watson
I,
and Deputy Chairwoman Liederman,
Aye.
Member Kraus. Aye. And Member Hope.
Aye.
Do we want to state a resolution for the record tonight about the issue of the other boards waiting for our input? Or do we want to wait and see how things shake out once certain problems are resolved administratively?
and it all depends if we have a meeting next month also.
I would assume that you are gonna meet if you're gonna talk about J.
Yeah.
Crew. So. You know, we have a checklist of who gets what, so you're here tonight, and that's why whatever I had in the office, I tried to give out to give to you. Not necessarily for you to take action on, but so that you can. And that's what the J. Crew.
But you did say that it might be a good idea for us to discuss it tonight because the planning board might be discussing it, which is what launched me on my tirade.
And they haven't done, I just read this, they haven't done depot test here in this site. Says that it won't be done until April or May of 2024.
So for J. Crew, yeah, this is site plan. Yeah.
And J. Crew was given to the chairman of the planning board because he was here for another meeting. Nobody else has seen it. It's
Well-
not on the derivation table yet, none.
Okay, so maybe do you want to wait till next month? I just, state for the record that we ask that the planning board refrain from review until the March meetings.
Or that we be entitled to look at it again next month.
Well, no point in our looking at it if the planning board's already done something with it, so. Okay, so we
And
want to
there may
do,
be more stuff that comes with it,
right, that's
like the
possible.
depot test.
Right, that's a good point. Mhm. Okay, so I will also state a motion that we will, put this, that we are, that the J. Crew application was not submitted by the deadline. We will defer discussion till next month and we request that the planning board do the same. And we ask that the planning board not take up the new submission for J. Crew until after the conservation board has reviewed it at the March meeting.
I
If we
can
can
ask-
get all of that.
Well, it's being
All
recorded, right?
recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
It is right now.
If you need, just call me or email me and I can try to fill in any gaps. Does anybody want to say?
Want me to second it?
Somebody needs
Second
to,
it.
or we don't, if we can't discuss it or pass it.
And so, Chairman Watson
Aye.
and Deputy Chairman Lieberman
Aye.
and Member Kraus. Aye. Okay, and Member Hope.
Aye.
We'll move on to the next order. Business.
Sure.
Monroe County Environmental Management Council. Mike.
So I attended that meeting on January 17th. It was a joint meeting with the RAC, which is the Recycling Advisory Committee. And so there was 3 different speakers. The first 2 were really brief. Steve Pellets from Eco Park, he gave a very comprehensive overview of Eco Park. Just some interesting takeaway that the minutes haven't been put out yet, so I apologize. I don't have too much information. I was kind of waiting for those. Just how many things now that are taken in at Eco Park, electronics, paint, where you are paying upfront to recycle those products. Most consumers don't realize that, and I think it's a good system.
I wish they would do it for tires.
Mhm.
Do it
I-
for what?
For tires.
Oh,
Well, one thing
For
that
gas
they
stations.
really need to do it for is all these vaping mechanisms. They are becoming a huge issue. Schools confiscate them. They have thousands and thousands of them that they have to dispose of. He also showed us some imports coming in from China where they are cleverly disguised now as highlighters. So kids, you think they're in school using a highlighter and it's a vaping mechanism. They're a big problem, this whole industry. And it seems a bit hard to regulate that. Another funny thing was they have pallets and pallets of hand sanitizer in those big gallon jugs. that schools and organizations ordered,
Yeah,
and now they have to recycle and dispose of all this.
I mean, I'm
Uh,
not using it.
It's it's outdated, and you would not believe the quantity.
Remember when you couldn't get it? You couldn't get hand sanitizer.
I know. And then I just found this interesting. I didn't realize Nelson Rockefeller's role in promoting conservation in the state. And he did quite a bit.
50 years ago, right?
Yeah, and then that was kind of tied in with Frank Venlar because because of the wastewater treatment operations. And both of those men were really instrumental in making sure New York was on the right track. And then there's he's a county employee. His name is Clement Chung. But there was someone there from wastewater treatment operations. He asked him to stand, and we gave this young man a standing ovation. They are in such dire need of wastewater treatment operators. He was like making a plea. If you know anyone that needs a job, you don't need a college education, they're trained for it. There's a real shortage. It was a very interesting meeting. The next meeting I'm going to attend, it's next week. It's the State Environmental Quality Review Act. So it's seeker training, basically, is what it is. So that will be a good experience, I think.
Thank you, Beth.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get March and April.
Yeah. They're interesting. They are very interesting meetings. And it was one of the three men that spoke too. He actually was asking more questions, like, what do these conservation boards do in all these different municipalities in Monroe County? And actually, the roles are very different. You know, when you come into the bigger towns, I think the guy that spoke was from Penfield. It's really all about looking at development. That's like their number one thing.
Now, you met at the Eco Park?
We're meeting now at the Fleet Center, which is right down the road
Fall
from.
Road, yeah.
It's very convenient because they're both on a Wednesday, so I hit the Eco Park and then went to the
We got
meeting.
volunteer.
So that was the.
Yeah, I guess when you look at the bigger towns, I guess we look at one house and they look at a whole development of houses.
Right.
Do
And
they-
septic is it's not an issue, right? Water isn't an issue.
Not all three can.
Do they say anything about other counties and if they have places like Eco Park? Get
Um,
rid of your waste chemicals, or the people that come in there, are they just? You can only be from Monroe.
I believe you have to you have to live in Monroe County.
I mean, I've been there. I've been there.
But maybe
Nobody
I
asked you.
thought about that, but maybe they can you check on the registration of a car or your license
If
plate?
they go to the trouble.
Well, I thought maybe it was something that was automated. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
A lot of times I took them 5 gallons of DDT one time.
Ooh.
Oh,
My father had it in the cellar because he used to spray it years ago. And then he was like, oh, I'm gonna use it. I said, no, you're not.
You know what? I was misinformed. I took a bunch of old paint. And when I handed it over, the guy told me they burn old paint. And I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound like that's very good for the environment. But he spoke to paint. He says, no, it's refurbished, it's reused. So,
So they break it down and make a new product out of it.
yeah. And sometimes paint, like it sounded like it's made into a secondhand quality. I don't know who would use that product, but every time you buy paint, you're paying a little charge up front
And they
too.
also have a wetland mitigation bank there. So if you got an area where you're gonna get into a wetland, you can buy into that wetland mitigation bank. And they develop an area that's, change it from like a wetland to maybe a pond or something. So that you can fill in this wetland or do something else with it. I'm not saying so much fill it in, but.
Who handles all that? That's
I don't know,
kind of
It's right there
interesting.
though, at the Eco Park,
Hmm,
wetland mitigation.
Maybe that's part of or Monroe County Soil and Water, because
Probably, yeah.
that's where they sell all their trees out of, right there in the
Yeah.
spring. So that's my report.
The Rush Code Committee, we're meeting again, next Thursday. I imagine we probably only got, you hear anything from Robert? Yeah, I think we've only got like maybe 2 meetings left out of it. Before they present everything to the town,
Oh,
which
that's
it's been
great.
over a year.
Doesn't feel like it's been that long. It's great that you've been doing that.
Yeah, I think it was March of last year when we started it. Pre-advisory committee.
Yes, actually, we almost had something very more specific on the agenda. Apparently, as part of the tree advisory committee structure, if I'm recalling this right, so don't hold me to it, but my recollection is from what Dan Williver emailed me was that, and I think you were copied in, but you haven't gotten your
Yeah.
emails. So we're supposed to, not just us, other boards too, are supposed to review the applicants for membership on the tree advisory committee. But apparently that material wasn't ready for this meeting. So originally said, we've got to do it, but then said, no, we're going to have to do it next month. And so I assume in between, we'll get some more information, to look at.
Carol Barnett had a list of all of the people.
Right, right. And some had like provided a resume
Yeah,
of sorts, whereas others had just expressed through an email interest. So that's what they want. They want approval of these people. I thought it was they were looking for approval of the tree advisory board from us. That's why I put that out where I said I fully support a tree advisory board.
Right. Again, I could be remembering it wrong. I thought he said we were supposed to, we don't make the decision.
No.
We're supposed to look maybe and have input into the applicants, but I could be wrong.
Well,
And
I do know this, that it's kind of been lagging and they want to get the ball rolling with the tree advisory committee. They've submitted the names. Why can't I think of my other organization? Rush Recreation Park Association, the RPA. They are kind of sponsoring this effort, and I thought they wanted the conservation board to kind of give an approval of a tree advisory board for our town.
That could be, and maybe it was, maybe Dan said that the town board is going to approve it and then we're going to review it. I just don't remember. I
So
know.
you got a separate email from Dan after the one from Carol Barnett.
Yes,
Okay, that didn't come to all of us, just you.
it was me and Dave.
Yeah.
And I don't think I usually forward those things to everyone, and I might not have, simply because I saw it more as, an agenda item situation, so. I could search the emails on my cell phone, but that might take longer than it's worth.
Right.
In one way or the other, I could, at my computer, I could do it quickly, but not on the cell phone. Because my cell phone meshes them all together. But anyway, and I can catch up, email all of you once I do find it.
Okay,
As there's no official action we're supposed to take tonight, but it's gonna be on the agenda, we hope for next month. But that's good. I agree with you. I mean, I support the tree advisory committee, and I'm glad that it's, it's moving on, moving forward.
That's the first process of this whole committee thing, is getting people on board that want to be on it. There is no committee.
it has to
Formed.
be, the town board has to kind of give it its approval, so I think they have 7 individuals that put their hand up to say, yes, we'll be on this.
And can they take all 7, or do they need to choose a?
No, I
small
think they
group?
can take 7.
Yeah, that's what Carol's thinks.
I don't think there's a limit.
Oh, that's great. And then they're gonna be doing an inventory of trees. right?
Inventory and. Yeah,
Like the whole town, or just town-owned property,
that's a good question.
Yeah, but you-
not the town.
I don't, yeah,
Probably just town owned.
I mean, to do it all of them, I'm thinking our properties alone. would
Right.
take
Get a
a
couple
year in
trees.
inventory.
So I did 500 do it?
Something like that, yeah. We spent the first 3 years that we owned the property, we spent all of our weekends planting trees. Even before we lived there, we were planting trees
Keeping the
before we
weeds
built the
down
house.
around them because they come so small.
There's hundreds of them coming to the Rush 100 Acres Park that are gonna be planted over the next few seasons.
We got them from all different places too. We got them like, a big one was, used to be a nursery next to Canandaigua Lake. I forget what it was, Miller Nursery.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, when we were, at one point, you know, we were there like for the 5th time, and I said to Tom, "Oh, I don't think we have one of those." And then the clerk said, "I would think you two have one of everything by now."
I bought a lot of trees last year from that Oriental Garden Supply on West Bloomfield Road, right next to the thruway. They have a big collection of everything. And odd trees, a lot of odd trees. We have no town board liaison. Any other business?
Well, yeah, I'll bring this up just, you know, for just to mention it, but I started to see some discussion on Facebook about the Dollar General store proposal. Not Facebook, Rush Neighbors.
Yeah.
On Rush Neighbors. So I started to, you know, and with some pro and some con and some input, some questions answered by a couple of town officials were in there. Or former town officials. And one person said, well, the town should do something first with the old Rush Big M property. And somebody said, that's not the town's choice. You know?
Right.
Town doesn't own these properties. So anyway, I think that's going to be a big deal sooner or later, assuming it continues to advance. So I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that from.
What site is that, Julia?
Well,
Rush
business-
Neighbors?
Oh, yeah, yes, or next door. Rush.
Oh, next door. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
next door.
And it's specifically Rush people?
Get people from all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't tried to get access to the Rush community page. I've heard about it, but no, this is next door, and no, you get there's supposedly a Rush next door and a Henrietta next door, but I see comments from all over.
All over.
Yeah.
I know, I just read one about a coyote, a big coyote.
In Rush.
I can't remember where it was. It wasn't too close to us.
I don't care. Coyotes, it's the.
It was
bears.
Erie Station. That's where it was, Erie Station.
Yeah, it's the bears I worry about, not the coyotes, but there was a place, I think in the Adirondacks or in the North Country of our state where unfortunately it was killed, but they said it kept arguing as to whether it was a big coyote or whether it was a wolf, and it turned out to be a wolf. Even though, you know, not known to that area. That's why
Red
everybody thought it was a big coyote. But
Interesting.
it actually was a wolf.
They've just been reintroduced in Colorado.
Yeah.
It was in the news there,
And that was part of the story, that they're in Colorado, but not in New York, so,
but they were in the Adirondack region.
yeah. They were here too.
Interesting.
Okay. Move that we adjourn our meeting and.
Second.
I guess we need a roll call for that too.
So Chairman Watson,
Aye.
Deputy Chairwoman Meredith,
Aye.
Member Kraus. Aye. And Member Hope.
Hi.
Recording over.
Now, did it reflect that Sue Wilbur was absent?
Yes.
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 She took that with
Um,
Goes back.
Your name was Marjorie, right?
Marjorie, yeah.
What's your last name?
Henderson,
Henderson.
yes.
Yeah, when you, this was the only one we did.
But there was one that said we have no comments.
That must be.
Well, welcome and thank you, Sharon.
You have no comments on, was that in here?
How bad?
Which one?
Yeah, on the